this is Jessica McKay. I'm an intuitive counselor at jessicamckay.com. Today's reading answers the question, what can I do today, right now, to make my life feel happier? So go ahead and connect with yourself, close your eyes if you need to, and really tap into the energy of that question. What can I do right now to make my life feel happier? What can I do to feel more content and more at peace in my life? And then choose the message you're drawn to, either message number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4. Okay. So, if you were drawn to message number 1, the card that came up is Broken Heart. Now, everyone has a broken heart. What this card is suggesting is that there's a part of you that there's a wound, there's some grief, there's some deep pain or sadness, and you may have spent a long time trying to protect yourself from feeling that kind of pain ever again. Maybe it was a loss that you experienced. Maybe it was the end of a relationship. Maybe it's some way that you were criticized when you were a child. Whatever that wound is, there is just one way to cure it. And the way to heal it is to welcome it, to accept yourself, to give the pain a seat at the table, to stop shutting it out, to stop denying it's there, but to welcome it in and to have compassion for it, to love yourself, to give yourself the acceptance that you didn't get when you were rejected, when you experienced the loss, when you were criticized. To give yourself the acceptance, which means that you accept that the pain exists and you really allow it to be. So much of the time we want to shut it out and run away from it and hide from it and then put up walls so that we never feel so terrible again. But it doesn't work because the pain is still inside. So even if you've put up walls to protect yourself and tried to hide, the pain is still there. And so the one way to heal it is to love yourself, to have compassion for that pain, and to let it be. And eventually, the more that you can accept yourself and love yourself, the more that you heal that crack in your heart, the more that it begins to heal, because you realize that love is not something that exists outside of you, that you have to be good enough or worthy to get. Love is what you are, and it comes out of you. And when your heart is healed, that love can come out of you, and you don't need to prove that you're enough for anybody. So that is the one thing that you can do to make your life happier now, is to love yourself. And by that I mean accept yourself. Accept the things that you reject and judge. Let them be with you. Almost like they're long-lost little children that have been banished to their rooms. Welcome them home. That is what will heal this broken heart, no matter what created it, is that self-love, that compassion, that allowance for the pain to exist. So that's the message. That is what will really, really help to move you forward. So in your relationships, if you've been afraid of being seen, if you've been afraid of real deep intimacy, you're afraid of being rejected, this is the path to healing, is to love who you are so much that you no longer reject yourself. And when you don't reject yourself, you're not going to attract people out there who criticize and judge you. That's just how it works. So that is message number 1. So if you are drawn to message number 2, the card that comes up is Appreciation. So this is about gratitude, but it's deeper than gratitude. When I look at this card, I see a woman who is surrounded by lots of bushes, and it doesn't look like it's easy to walk through, but there she is. and she's found the flower in the midst of those bushes. She's found the beauty. So this is about finding the blessing in whatever is painful right now or whatever doesn't seem comfortable. There's a blessing there, there's beauty there. In some way, that challenge is pushing you to grow, to become stronger, to become more compassionate or loving. There's something, there's a blessing, there's a gem that's hidden in your experience. And so that's what this woman has done on this card. She's found that hidden blessing. And that's what you can do right now to feel more at peace, more content with where you are, rather than wishing that your life looked different or was some other way or less challenging than it is. I know it's hard, but to really find the blessings that exist in whatever experience you're having now. Even if it's something really, really scary or, like if it's a health issue and a really, really deep challenge, there's a way that this challenge is helping to stretch you and is helping to reach deep inside yourself for that beauty, that gem, that blessing that's really something that when you look back, you will be immensely grateful for. So to be happier, to feel more at peace with your life now, start looking for the blessing inside the things that are the hardest for you. So that's the message. I know you can do it. I know that you're going to figure out, you're going to stumble on that thing that feels like, wow, if I never had this challenge, I would never have learned A, B, and C. So that is the message for you. If you were drawn to message number 3, the card that comes up is financial constraints. And you see an empty cupboard and it's covered in spider webs. And so this card is indicating that what's been bothering you lately or making you feel like your life isn't as happy as it could be is the thought and the belief that you don't have enough. And if you just had more, you would be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, and there's not enough money. And if you just had more money, then you'd be able to achieve your goals. Or you would be able to have more happiness, whatever that is. And so this is a feeling like there's not enough. There's just not enough. And the message I'm getting is, I'm looking at this cupboard, and inside on one of the shelves, there are actually 2 gold coins in there. And on the bottom shelf, there's a journal. So first of all, focus on what you do have. Focus on the blessings already around you, the abundance already around you. What amazing things do you have that you can use as evidence that you really do have abundance and that things are not as bleak as this looks? Where's the evidence for that? Did you find a penny on the sidewalk? Seriously. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's evidence that money's flowing to you. Do you have electricity? Do you have central heat, or do you have heat at all? There are people on this planet who may never have any of those things. The meals that you're blessed with, they came from all over the country or all over the world. That food had to travel all this distance. People had to open up bakeries and stores and grocery chains, and so much had to happen for that food to get to where it is. And so to have gratitude, like to go beyond the superficial, oh, just be grateful for everything and then you'll be happy. No, to go beyond that, to really see all the things that had to take place for you to live in a home with heat, or to have, your favorite drink in the morning, coffee or tea. What had to happen for you to be able to have that and enjoy that? That had to be cultivated from somewhere. So to start looking at gratitude that way, like from the really deep perspective. And also the message I'm getting with this is to journal your new outlook about abundance. So to write down something like, money flows to me. So you don't have to believe it, but write it down. And then list pieces of evidence that support that new perception in the world. So if you found a penny on the street, put that down. Write that down as evidence that money flows to you. If you had enough to afford groceries this week, write that down as evidence. And you'll start seeing, you're going to train yourself to notice all the ways that you are supported. And eventually, it will not look this bleak. This is a mindset. It's not a reality. It's a mindset. And your mindset is what creates the experience that you have. So that is the message, to change your mindset. That'll help you feel happier about your life at the moment. So it's the mindset around your abundance and the power you have and what you're able to accomplish. You're able to accomplish way more than you believe. It's not about the money. It's about your mindset. So that's message number 3. And if you are drawn to message number 4, the card that comes up is walking away. So for you, in order to feel happier right now, to feel more at peace and content in your life, there's something you need to stop doing. There's something that you need to walk away from or leave behind, and you probably already know what it is. It might be a relationship, it might be a job, it might be a home that you've been living in. This card is inviting you out into the unknown. And of course, if this is a big thing, like you kind of know deep down that it's time to leave your job, but you're scared, you don't have to do it today. You don't have to quit your job today, but you can start to create a plan, do research, have a 1-year plan to know that at the end of a year from now, you're going to know what opportunities and possibilities exist for you to move from where you currently are into another place. And I love that there's all this light in this card. There's all this golden light around her, which suggests to me that the unknown is safe, that there's golden light waiting for you, safety. Know that, or make the decision that the universe is supporting you and that you can make changes, you can set boundaries, you can walk away from something. If this is a relationship that doesn't resonate with you anymore, you have the power to still have a happy life and leave this one particular aspect of your life behind. To honor yourself, to do what feels right, to do what resonates with you. That's really the message. You're being invited out into the unknown. So feel into that. What is it that you're feeling guided to stop doing that doesn't make sense anymore? Maybe it's taking care of someone, taking on somebody else's burdens, and it's draining you and it doesn't feel good and it's stopping you from pursuing what you need to pursue. Things like that. So that's the message. I hope that these messages were helpful to you. And if they were, please share this video with someone. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time.